How y'all doing? I know a good bit of y'all like the single mother episodes that I did the other day. But really and truthfully, you know what I'm saying? It's really a problem. It's really an issue that needs to be addressed. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these single mothers, most of them did not have their fathers in their life due to their single mother and on back. You know, a lot of women end up, becoming, modern day whores because their mother was one. I'm not saying every woman necessarily went down that road. If she's intelligent, then she knows, that's not the thing to do. It just blows my mind to hear people say the things that they say. The internet is a blessing and a curse. It's a curse because it's like it shows you how warped people's minds are, and they don't deserve to express their thoughts. Because it's like you thought that you said something intelligent and you sound fucking dumb. A girl on, I don't even have Twitter, I just be seeing the stuff via YouTube or Facebook, but a young lady, I guess she was like a millennial, but she was just like, I wish I could have chose my baby daddy. Ma'am, you know how dumb you sound? You chose that man the moment you got naked for him and opened your legs and let him shoot up the club, and then kaboom, you got pregnant. You chose him right then and there. It wasn't just like you were a virgin and all of a sudden, through parthenogenesis, you just suddenly got pregnant. You impregnated yourself, essentially, which would still make you like a virgin. You know what I'm saying? So, it was just interesting to hear the things that people say. People love to run, well, I'm not going to say people. Well, yeah, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say men and women raised by single mothers love running to the internet for validation and attention. They didn't get enough attention and validation or love and care from their caretakers or their single mothers because, she had to go work X amount of time. So, by the time she got off work, she was too tired to deal with your emotional needs, your mental needs, any needs that you had as a child. She could not meet because she herself wasn't able to regulate her own nervous system and emotions. So if you can't give yourself something, how could you give it to your child? You can't. So, because I know me coming from a narcissistic mother, my mom's number one excuse would always be in my child. She'll make all these promises. Oh, for spring break, we're going to go here. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Getting the child's hopes and dreams all up just to shoot them down, pull the rug from under their feet and watch their face smack the concrete. You know what I'm saying? That's fucked up from a child's perspective. And then you wonder why that child grows up and has resentment towards that single mother, doesn't like that single mother, doesn't trust that single mother. Because those were my feelings 100% towards my mom. I don't trust you, I don't like you. But when I definitely found out that she's a narcissist, yeah, I still don't like you or trust you. Never will, ever again. Especially since I found out my whole fucking existence of life was a fucking lie and a narrative you spent because you just couldn't handle the truth that you are a low-value woman, you chose a low-value man, and then you got pregnant by these low-value men. Every man is not a dog, just like every woman is not a gold digger. We really have to look at ourselves in the mirror. But see, that's something that people who are narcissistic don't do. They want you to take them as they are, tolerate their bullshit, and that's what feminists do to men. You shut up and you take my verbal abuse and you take my domestic violence behind closed doors where nobody can see or hear me. Because who would believe you? Would they believe you or they believe little old me? And they get the bat in their eyes, and then that's when they call 911, the man going to jail and all of this, and he ain't even did nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I know how manipulative and deceptive and low down and dirty the females can be. My brother asked me, between men and women, who is the most evil? I said women. Women are the most evil, because I've watched women's behaviors. I mean, me personally, I don't resonate with their behaviors, but they cheat better than women. They cheat better than men. You know, got men out here believing that them 3-4 kids is his whole time. They got a baby by Tyrone, James, Jackson, and Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? That's why, you know, a lot of the women today can't believe. They're all on the internet. The men aren't looking at us. They're not paying us any attention. Well, baby, your BBL stink. Never in the history on earth has a man said, because you don't got a BBL, I'm not gonna fuck you. Oh, because your nails ain't done, I'm not gonna fuck you. Oh, because you ain't got no lip gloss on, you ain't got no eyelashes and makeup on, and your hair ain't done, I'm not gonna fuck you. And the man's goal is get to the pussy. So at the end of the day, and let's keep it real, fellas, there's top tier men and there's bottom of the barrel. That's the Pookies and the Ray Rays. Generally, Pookie and Ray Ray, you know, they got multiple baby mamas. Pookie and Ray Ray don't have a dental plan, don't got a doctor plan, don't got a job, unemployed, got all these babies and baby mamas, child support back. Y'all know Pookie and Ray Ray. Y'all probably got a little peanut in the family. I'm just saying, you know. But again, I ain't gotta go look too far. I can go look at my damn brother who did penitentiary time for a decade and is a pedophile, sex offender, just fucked up. He didn't take care of my niece. My brother would be considered a Pookie and a Ray Ray. You know, the best job that a Pookie and a Ray Ray got is his salami. And he better lay down the best salami that he can lay, because he needs a woman to live off of. Because as a Pookie and a Ray Ray, they don't make a whole lot of money. You know, they don't. And this is the crazy logic. There's a lot of women out here. They love Pookie and Ray Ray ex-convict sales. They be like, oh, they want Pookie and Ray Ray to be like, you know, the good dude, to, you know, get that 6-figure job, to wear the suits and ties. To a Pookie and a Ray Ray, he's never gonna level up to be that guy. But she can go get that guy and not like that guy, cheat on him with Pookie and Ray Ray because Pookie and Ray Ray got the salami. Like, make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? Pookie and Ray Ray is not qualified to be a husband. He's not qualified to be a father. Not qualified to be a protector, you know, provider. But she wants to make Ray Ray into that. But Ray Ray and Pookie don't want to be that. They want to be doing drugs. They want to be on that bottle. You know, they want the woman to take care of them. And then these women go get these types of men, and then you complain about them. Why are you complaining about the man you chose, sis? You picked him. You letting him see you butt naked. Did somebody put a gun to your head and say, get with a Pookie and a Ray Ray or a Chad? No. Nobody told you. See, I don't know where in history. I'm going to guess that at the same time in history that they convinced women that you don't need a man in your life. That's the same time where they probably promoted the Pookie and the Ray Ray, you know. and the Chad, because they the ones out here getting ass, but they not getting it for free, because Pookie, Ray Ray, and Chads, they also get their houses broken into. They also get beat up and hands put on them. They get 911 called on them. Not just the good men, but them too. You know? So at the end of the day, like, I don't know when, I'm going to say when single mothers became a thing, fathers were no longer in the picture, which allowed feminism to come in and just distort and warp a whole system. Because even in the Bible, it tells you, do not sell your daughter into whoredom, lest the city fall into desolation. Or I forgot, I'm just paraphrasing, because I forgot what verse and where I read it. But all y'all Bible readers out there, I'm pretty sure y'all can quote the scripture. I'd have to look it up because I'm driving right now. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm paraphrasing, right? And somewhere along the lines, I mean, society just lost track. They just, I couldn't tell you what happened, you know. If reincarnation is a thing, I would love to remember past lives to see what the hell happened, why it happened, all of that, you know. But I'm just saying, like, you know, ever since, you know, single mothers became a thing, single mothers became that due to, you know, whoredom, you know. Because think about it. Men would go into saloons and salons or whatever. What were they called back in the day? I think they were called saloons, and I can't think of the name of what they used to call them back in, say, like the 50s and stuff like that. But they had whorehouses and stuff like that, right? And women are so damn warped. Oh, my husband, you know, he keeps going to that whorehouse. Well, my thing is this. You know, some guys are not cut out to be husbands or fathers. You know, maybe that's not what they wanted in life, you know, but you want him to want it because you want that with him. That man is only going to act right if he wants to act right. He's only going to want to be a husband because he wants to be a husband. He's only going to be a... Why do you think men control or had a key to marriage, relationships? They determine whether we are going to move forward or if we're going to be in a situationship, whether I'm going to dangle a carrot in your face. And you as the woman, you still got to determine for yourself, are you going to stick around or are you going to go and be with somebody else? You know what I'm saying? I found it always crazy how men and women chase the men and women that don't want them, but you ignore the ones that do like you. You know what I'm saying? That's why it should always be mutual. It should never be one-sided. You know, I hear, like, I got a cousin, you know, single mother of two, right? And just hearing her say, well, you know, you should always get with a guy that loves you more than him. Men are gaining standards, and I'm not saying that men ever lost their standards, but they're really not playing games right now. Men are not playing games right now. Men would rather have their hand and some lube or a sex toy, you know, and pretty soon there's about to be sex bots existing, than to deal with a woman, because masturbating and him having his money and peace of mind means more to him than a chick that's nagging him. And narcissists nag. Oh my God, do they nag? They nag because they're insatiable. You can never make them happy. No matter what you do, you can go above and beyond. Give them the moon, the sun, the stars, gravity. They still unhappy. You know, they'll find something else, like, how come you didn't give me that Milky Way over there? You know what I'm saying? Or, I didn't ask you to do all of that. Oh, that's how we moving? And it's just crazy because, you know, y'all see it on the internet. You know, these old women washed up, these women who are single mothers and got multiple kids. You know, now I respect the women who can say, I like to fuck, and then you fucked all these different men and you got all these different kids. You know, I can respect them. But why would you create all these kids by different men and then you be upset because a man's coming to feed his child? He don't need to feed the rest of them kids that ain't his. A man biologically wants to provide for his loins, not necessarily the loins of another. That's like a video game. You come to play a video game, you want to play a new game. You don't want to play somebody's saved game. And I know it sounds messed up to say it like that, but this is just the reality that we live in, people. This is what the men are saying. And when I say the men, I'm talking about like millennial men, you know, the Gen Zers, even some of the Gen X men are saying it. CGA, Coach Greg Adams, Paul, Ask the Older Man, Kevin Samuels when he was alive. You know, all of them have great points. And every last one of them captured my attention when they spoke about bitter baby mamas, because my mother, as a single mother and a narcissist, is also a bitter baby mama. You know, you got to understand, narcissistic women, when they don't get their way with the man, when they have you as a nice toy, men, and when they're done with you, they discard you, they treat you like absolute trash, and they slap you on child support, drag you through the legal system. They do all this shit to you, right? And then they wonder why you never wifed them or why you dumped them. Because they weren't even qualified to be with anyway. You just happen to make a baby with them, which more than likely you regret, or it was the worst mistake in your life. Like, you don't regret the child, you just regret the mother. And that's how a lot of these men be feeling. And it's crazy. I'm a Libra, so as a Libra, I can understand both sides. I can understand women's side, I can understand men's side. But you get a whole lot further. Oh, and this was something. I was looking at a post yesterday, and I forgot what the post was about, but I read all the comments. And a lot of the men said the number one thing is women don't listen. And I know women don't listen because I used to be hard-headed. I used to be, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, my mother didn't allow my father in my life, so therefore I didn't have that male leadership, that male influence, that male discipline, you know. So, you know, I can understand why some women feel like, oh, he's controlling, he's telling me I can't go. No, once you're in a relationship or a marriage, there's no more club life unless you and your man is going to the club. There are certain things you can no longer do as a single woman if you expect to be in a relationship. So what do I mean by this? Like, there's a lot of women out there, well, you controlling. Why do I need to delete my male friends? Newsflash, women, if you want a relationship or a marriage, you have no male friends. You have male friends while you're single because they trying to get to that ass. They want to smash some cheeks. They don't necessarily want a commitment with you. They're just an orbiter, a satellite. So all my male friends, you know, they got assassinated across the board. And I'm not afraid. A lot of them call themselves trying to jump in my DMs. I shut that shit down. Y'all not going to ruin my engagement because y'all asses ain't going to engage me or marry me. And I ain't got time to waste. Shit. You know, no. There's no such thing as male friends. It's not. Just like there's no such thing as female friends for a man. No. You can interact. If these people are not on your family tree, then what you talking to them for? You might talk to them as you being single. Y'all might be good, close friends when you're single. But a man an actual masculine man, he wants to protect what is his. And men know other men. So it's not about him being controlling. It's not about him isolating you or none of that. That's how you perceive it, but that's not true. He just does not want the opportunity for another man to take, what's his. Yeah, he can trust you as his woman, but he don't trust other men. It's no different, ladies. When you know that another woman wants your man, you tell your man you don't like her, stop talking to her, or, it's a female coworker he got at work. She be buying him lunch or calling him work hubby or something. Just as you have feelings of territorialness or possession, I don't think being possessive is a good thing. I would just say territorial. Because, just like in the animal kingdom, animals are also territorial of their mates. That's just a biological thing. So at the end of the day, jealousy, if that's what you want to call it, is not always about being jealous. It's about protecting what's yours, what you want to keep, what you got with that person. But on the post, a lot of the men were saying that, like, the number one thing, women don't listen. Women talk too much. And you know what? Sometimes I'll listen to these different podcasts where men and women are talking. Sometimes I can't even listen to it because the man will ask the woman a question and she goes in figure eights and circles instead of just answering yes or no. I'd be like, Jesus, lady, just answer the damn question. Why are we doing all this mental gymnastics? Because that's what narcissistic people do. Narcissists cannot answer direct questions. They cannot give a yes or a no. It's always damn complicated. There's nothing complicated. They make it complicated. When it boils down to a relationship, there's nothing complicated about the relationship. It should be simple. Just like anything that's of God, the Most High, the creator of all things, including Satan himself, there's clarity. Things are clear. But when there's confusion and chaos, that's Satan. You know what I'm saying? You should know and discern the difference. But the men say the same thing. But see, women don't listen to men. A lot of women, they love hearing themselves talk, which is a narcissistic trait. They don't listen. They listen to reply. They're not hearing what the man is saying to understand his point of view and his opinion. They are listening to just rebuttal, snap back, clap back. Oh, I'm going to shut him down. Narcissistic traits. I don't care what anybody says. Because if you have a conversation with somebody, have y'all ever had a conversation with somebody and they just talk, and you can't get a word in? They talk, and it's all about themselves. Or you talk to them and they always bring the conversation back to themselves. You're dealing with a narcissist, okay? You're dealing with somebody who's highly narcissistic, very self-absorbed. They clearly do not. And see, I call people out like that. I call them out. I be like, you hard-headed. You don't listen. I listen. Okay, repeat back to me what I just told you. They can't repeat back what you just said because they wasn't listening. If you're having a conversation, the person who's talking, they're talking. The person that they're talking to, that's the listener. They listen. And then when the person's done talking, the listener then makes a reply. You know what I'm saying? It's like a game of ping pong, a game of tennis. It's back and forth. It shouldn't be a one-sided monologue. That's crazy. But that is the number one thing that I've seen men say, where they were like, women are hard-headed. Women don't listen. And guess what? I bet you them same hard-headed, non-listening women were raised by single mothers. There are men on the internet who have tried to come for me based on my opinion on the internet. And then I'd be like, you sound like you was raised by a single mother. Boy, when I tell you I be hitting nerves, They feelings get hurt. They get in their feelings, extra emotional. Because if the man was raised by his father, he wouldn't be so emotional. And if women could understand that single mothers do not raise emotionally mature, emotionally stable men, then they would understand how important fathers are, not just to the sons, but to the daughters as well, because that father can guide that daughter. Because after all, we went from a day and age where people got married, then they had children. The father married the daughters off, meaning he wasn't just about to marry his daughter off to somebody that was going to beat her and treat her like shit. No, that came about after some time along when feminism became a thing, because all of a sudden women, I want to marry for love. I want to date Jimmy because Jimmy fine. Like, their women's dating criteria is crazy. And I'm not going to lie, I used to be once upon a time delusional from Disney World, Disneyland, cartoons and, them damn comedy romances and shit like that. Because, see, single mothers cannot teach their daughters how to be wives because the single mother was never a wife. And let's say she was a wife. If she divorced, well, have you had a successful relationship or marriage after the first one? If not, you cannot teach your daughter. Your daughter is not listening to what you're saying. She's looking at what she sees. And she sees mom having multiple men coming in and out the house. Oh, her little friends. Well, dang, mama, you got a lot of damn friends running in and out of my life like it's a revolving damn door. That's not healthy for any son or daughter to see either. These are things that I just see on the internet. I'll reply or give my opinions and this and that. Some people take my advice, or, I actually people who are open-minded, I open and expand their minds by giving them deeper insight. It's like having an onion. You're peeling back layers because things are deep. All right. So, that's why I wanted to speak about single mothers, because a lot of things rooted into society today stems from single mothers. A lot of single mothers are poor. They're having to refinance, go through bankruptcy. And see, my mother, she's narcissistic and she's a single mother. Our house got foreclosed on. I became homeless at 21. You see how unstable that is? She had no life plan for me once I became 18, but she couldn't wait for me to get the fuck out of the house so she could be a free bird, as she would say. Well, how come at 30 years old you begging me to come back and live with you? You know what I'm saying? That's because you lonely. Narcissists are lonely. They have to be in relationships. They don't know how to be to themselves. They don't have the ability to heal because they don't even have the ability to self-reflect on their bad choices and mistakes in life. They have very impulsive spending habits, which is single mothers going into debt, by living above their means. And I can speak on it because my mother did it. Single mother, having 5 cars. You can't drive all these cars. But then she wants to be like, compare your life to me. You're 60. I'm 30. I'm a millennial. Baby boomers were programmed to get a house, and you could afford a house. All boomers could. Millennials these days can't. Not unless you manage to get married in your 20s and the man was very responsible and mature in his 20s. He didn't go and make all these babies and have baby mama drama and baby mama issues and child support. And you know what I'm saying? He didn't fuck his life up in his 20s and when he was 18 and 16 and stuff like that. So a man has to be very responsible with his dick and his seed. All right? Just like a woman has to be very responsible with her cat and her uterus. Let's stop playing the blame game. I hear it from both sides. Oh, I hate my baby daddy. Oh, I hate my baby mama. Well, guess what? You chose to get naked with that individual. You did not think the consequences through. You raw dogged and boom. Now y'all got a baby. You did what God said, which was go be fruitful and multiply. But Shoot, you multiplied your headaches in the process, your heartache in the process for the next 18 to 25 years, depending on the state that you live in, you know. But I'm just saying, like, the single motherness needs to be addressed. And then, of course, there's single mothers out there, you know, they love, because I always hear single mothers bashing, you know, the fathers. Oh, he a deadbeat. No, a lot of these single mothers be deadbeat mothers, because why are you keeping that baby from the daddy? You know what I'm saying? And if you feel that man is a rapist, a child molester, sex offender, my question to you as a woman and a mother, why did you have sex with this man and produce a baby? Now I gotta question your mental status, your emotional status. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy, the things that I hear, the things that I see on the internet. Just when I think I can't be shocked, I get surprised by some more stuff. But seriously, a lot of it needs to be addressed. And I'm not speaking just for people who are older than me or my peers of my age. I will never listen to peers my age, because shoot, they live in life on the same level that I'm living life. But I will definitely listen to older generations, learn from their mistakes, you know, and also teach the younger people coming up behind me, you know, who don't have no life experience yet, just graduated high school, and you need some big sister guidance, you know, because, you know, if you like a little brother or a little sister, I would tell you straight up, I don't condone domestic violence of any sort, psychological, mental, emotional, physical, financial, none of that, not even verbal. All right. You know, all of that. I would tell you straight up, leave her or him alone. That's toxic, it's dysfunctional. I'm all about calling out behavior. I'm not here to bash nobody, but I'm just telling you, like, look at how things are. Like, see reality and stop living in a delusional bubble. You know, now don't get me wrong. When you go around popping people's bubbles and they leave the illusion and the delusion and they live in reality, some people can't handle reality. That's why they opt to unalive themselves, which is very, very sad and unfortunate. But, you know, I mean, the laws have to change. The women out there of millennials and Gen Zers out there complaining on TikTok and the internet about how men aren't men anymore and this and that. Look at who raised these men. The mothers. Not the fathers. The mothers. Like, see, this is the thing. A single mother will alienate the child, destroy the child mentally and emotionally by alienating the child from the father. You know what I'm saying? Now the child has abandonment issues because they feel like they just have this hole in them, this void, because they are missing that father. This is how some women become prostitutes and OnlyFans and strippers and all of this prostitution stuff, right? And then the mother condones it. Go ahead, girl, make your money. You know, the fathers ain't gonna condone his daughter being no whore, no harlot, no damn Jezebel. You know, he is not going to condone that. If you know Sexy Red, there are single mothers out here letting their toddlers listen to Sexy Red. I was about to say Single Red. Hell, she is single. She ain't married. So, you know what I'm saying? And you got little toddlers out there, you know, make that ass clap. Like, if the father was around and influencing, I'm guaranteeing he would shut that down. Snatch that microphone out that little girl hand, pop her on the butt. You know, they have that bass. You know, like when a man raises his voice, everybody's like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen videos where the mom will tell a kid, stop, or I'm gonna tell your daddy. The daddy say one time, stop. That child stop. He or she, they sit down. They know daddy ain't playing. They know. They inherently know. So if a baby or a toddler knows that when daddy say no, but you gonna ignore mom, and then mom be like, I'm gonna tell your daddy. Oh, don't tell daddy. Don't. That goes to show you how important fathers are in children's lives. Stop keeping these babies from their daddies. This is why laws need to start changing. That's why I'm proud of Delaware and Tennessee for changing certain laws. Florida, they got rid of alimony. So if a man has divorced his ex-wife, he no longer has to pay her alimony. Of course, the bitches are mad. Then Delaware, they made it to where on child support, the man's child support goes on a card, and the card cannot be used for hair, nail, lashes, clothes. In other words, the expenses are being tracked for the child. And in Tennessee, they are making it legal to where if the woman has lied to the man, like let's say she lied to the man and said that the kid is his and the kid is not his, that woman can go to jail for paternity fraud. Yes, as a feminist, not me being a feminist, but for the feminists out there, y'all wanted equality. Y'all wanted to be equal to men. Well, be equal to men and start going to jail. Start getting y'all driver's license taken away when y'all asses owe hella child support. Pay that child support and that alimony just like these men got to pay that child support and alimony. That's part of being equality. Don't think because you got some titties and a cooch that you get some type of special privileges, because, a parent is a parent. Women can be deadbeats too. So, hey, at the end of the day, I'm calling a spade a spade. To all the great mothers out there, if you are single for whatever reason, congratulations on being a great mother, doing the best you can, but that child still needs a father figure. You need to go find an uncle, your brother. You need to find a male role model for that son and for that daughter. A man's influence in children's lives is just important as the females. Because these young men today, you wonder why they act so sassy and so saucy, and why they so emotional and they can't handle rejection, because all they ever saw was their single mother and how she regulated and handled her emotions. Yelling, fussing, fighting, all of that. And so that man feels like, this is the way I express myself. I'm going to call you out your name, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Whole time he was just raised by a single mother. But I bet you if his daddy was in his life, he wouldn't be acting like that. Just saying. These are observations that I have observed in single mothers that have raised men and women, as well as two-parent households who have raised men and women, versus single fathers who have raised men and women. Statistics and numbers don't lie. So, anyways, peace, y'all. Positive energy always creates elevation. To any of y'all who are probably dealing with this or going through this type of situation, I wish for you the best, especially for the children. Because, to be honest, when it comes to adults, I don't really feel sorry for no adult. I only feel sorry for the children. You knew what you was doing when you wanted to raw dog her, and ma'am, you knew what you was doing once you got on your back. So, because at the end of the day, if you wasn't trying to get pregnant, you got a whole mouth. Just saying. Just saying. Them kids could have went anywhere else. All right. But I'm just saying, like, people just kill me. Even my mom coming up talking about I didn't want kids. Okay. Well, if you didn't want kids, you should have been on your knees, not on your back. Other than that, there's a lot of people in the world whose parents didn't want them. And, that's really sad when parents reject their children, and the children, they can feel that rejection. Children are smarter than you give them credit for. They know when they're loved and they know when they're not. So, love your kids, please.